Alright, we're good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Are you filming?
Yeah. Go.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Murphy and I'm here with comedian Ari Shaffir. Ari, how's it going?
Hi, good. I'm here at Auto Blues Fest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
You've been doing 3 nights for the Nasty Show here at Blues Fest?
Yeah.
How have you been enjoying the festival so far?
Really cool. I came in early. I watched Steve Miller Band the first night. Bobby Kelly gave me his pass.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, and then we did a podcast together. It was nice. It was still hot and edible.
Nice.
So Brown, he was like, "How high are you right now?" I was like, "I'm pretty high, man." Keeps going. And eventually he gave me some water, which was nice of him. Yeah, I saw that. And then Black Keys 2 days ago.
Yep.
They were cool. They waited an hour to play, and then they finally went on because of the rain. Ottawa's not used to rain in the summer, I guess.
Yeah, I was in the crowd and I was
You were in the crowd? Did you stay?
I stayed for most of it and then I was
Okay.
like, I just wanted to get on one of the buses before everyone got on.
Yeah.
So.
They played 30 minutes past curfew, which was nice. I'm sure they came up with some deal, but like, yeah, they didn't tell anybody if they were going to leave or not, so people just started wandering out saying, I guess they're not playing. We were backstage, they didn't tell us a word. We were looking at the Black Keys, and we're like, they're not gone yet, so we're not leaving until they're gone. Yeah, and then they went on, it was great, it was sick.
Excellent. Cool. So just a few weeks ago, you organized a worldwide Shroom Fest.
Did you do it?
I didn't
You did not,
participate.
that's right.
What inspired you to start that event, and how was your experience?
My experience was great. I went to the beach, to the Comedy Store, this club, my home club in LA.
Yeah.
It has a branch, I guess, in San Diego and La Jolla, and they have a condo like right on the beach.
Oh,
It's
so
like
nice.
condo, and then the balcony is like on the boardwalk, and then beach. So it's like right there. It's always a great place to go for vacation with friends. So we went down there, went to the beach for a while, then had that as like a home base in case it was getting too trippy.
Yeah.
You know, we could always just walk in up the. So yeah, it was great. It was sick. I talked to God. It was amazing. Yeah, it was an amazing trip. It's the first time I tried fasting before I shroomed. So
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did that make a difference?
Oh yeah, yeah. I never done. I had the same strain before. Those penis envy mushrooms, those Terrence McKenna ones.
Those are the ones that are really tall and have like kind of a cap on them?
Yeah, it's shaped like a dick. It looks like a dick. That's
Yeah.
why they call them that when they're full. They're just extra strong and I don't know, spiritually. I don't know. I don't know what the term is, but yeah, it was great. We fasted. I was planning to fast 12 hours. People kept saying that, so I'm like, I'll try it, but then it ended up being 15 because we left late.
Right.
And then when it hit fast and it hit strong. It was great. What happened was me and my friend Joey Diaz got some acid. We took it to UFC, and we went to go watch the rest of Pink Floyd play The Wall.
Oh, that's crazy.
But we couldn't get in because there was no fucking good tickets. We went the last day out of like a 3-week run at the Staples Center in LA, and so then by then there were no scalpers. We didn't want to get shitty seats on the side, so we just didn't do it. But then we started tripping out downtown. But I was like, we should go do this at the beach somewhere. And I had this friend Benji who has his grandparents have a beach house. So like, we should all go. Oh, I guess we'll invite Benji too. We should go to the beach and do it, like away from everybody. And then I'm like, you know what? People like other comics come out, but they don't want to do acid. Like maybe they'll do shrooms. We'll do shrooms. And then I'm like, maybe all the comics should do shrooms. So let's just have a Monday when everybody's home. And then I was like, maybe everybody wants to. So then we just picked a day. That was it. We just decided let's all do mushrooms together. And the first day I picked like a bunch of kids like, I'm still in high school. So I was like, all right, I'll delay it. So I just picked it. I tried to find a day that everybody could do it. I tried to pick a Monday for the comics to be home so they could do it, and also like stay away from like this, the straight people.
Yeah.
To stay out of their way. But then a bunch of straight people were like, I have a job, I can't take off a day of work for mushrooms. Do it on a Saturday or Sunday. So I was like, all right. So I just made it the whole weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and everybody did mushrooms. It was great, all over the world.
Excellent. What was the reaction like from your
People
fans?
really loved it. Some people were scared that something bad was going to happen, but I didn't hear any reports of that. Yeah, everybody really got into it. People I didn't know got into it. There were people I met in San Diego that people talked to that didn't believe it came from me, which was fine.
Really?
They were like, oh, Ari didn't start Shroom Fest. That's a thing that's been around, or something like that. And it was like, that's cool. I don't care, but everybody did it on the same day. The word got out. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, I give people months and months in advance notice. I kept trying to tell them, get your shrooms now. They're hard to find. Boomers are hard. They're like, when you're looking for them, they're not that easy to find. Some people know how to get them. But like the guy I usually go to was in between grows, so he's like, I'm not gonna have anything for like another 4 weeks. And I was like, fuck. But I found some.
Nice. Have you ever had like a really bad trip?
No. I had a bad, I've had bad pot trips before, like edibles.
Really?
Yeah, where it's just everything starts spinning. I was on a plane once, going somewhere. I forget where I was going.
Was it kind of like when you're really drunk and you start spinning?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And I was like, I was on a plane. I was trying to sit there. I was like clenching the sides, and I was really close to the point of like getting up and saying, like, we hadn't left, we hadn't gone yet, but we had gotten away from the gate. I was really close to telling him to get me off the plane. Like, I was freaking out, saying, get me off the fucking plane. I was really close. Only that my friend was sitting next to me, and part of me knew, like, you're probably just freaking out.
Yeah.
So if you are, you'll never catch the end of this if you get off this plane right now.
He'll end up in TMZ.
Yeah, and I'll just keep hearing it from ever that I couldn't handle my weed, so I just fucking sat there, like clench. I was positive I was gonna die.
Oh shit.
I was spinning, and then I was like, just close your eyes, and in no time you'll be in the air, like you always are. That's how I always am. I sit there, and then I'm like, I look at the window, I'm like, oh, we're in the air somewhere. I don't know how long I'm gonna sleep. So I would do that, and then I would open my eyes, and then we'd still be on the ground, and everything would just be spinning.
Oh, that's
And
horrible.
I was sweating, cold sweats. I really just wanted to leave. It was just bad. I was sure I like inception myself. I was positive. I have low blood pressure, and I take this depression medication that makes it worse. So that sometimes I stand up and I just have to like just get lightheaded for a second. I have to hold on to something. It's not a big deal. As far as like side effects go, it's really easy. Just hold on to something for like 5 seconds. Sometimes take a knee, and then I'm fine. But the way it works is my blood pressure is so light that if these are my veins like this, or like that, blood just goes right through those. So if you have low blood pressure, it's tighter. So when I stand up, the blood just rushes down, like nothing's holding it in there, so I have to wait until like kicks bone. So my thought was, as we're taking off, the blood would rush to my feet, and I would faint. But then we'd keep taking off, so the blood would just stay in my feet. And we'd keep, it would like keep rising, and then I would just die from lack of blood oxygen to the brain.
And that was your
I was positive that would happen, like 90% sure. But then I was like, it's not worth the shit I'm gonna take. I'll just die. I'll just die rather than risk having to take shit from Rogan next to me. So I just sat there. He had no idea later. As I calmed down, like halfway through the flight, I was like, oh my god, I
Were
was
you with
flipped out.
Rogan at the time?
Uh-huh. And he was like, oh, I couldn't tell at all. Like, I want you to try to help me in any way. Yeah, that's the only way. But now, lately, whenever I start having a weird trip or I get too high or something like that, I just tell myself, like, these are drugs. This is not going to do anything. You know you're on drugs. But nobody ever has bad problems. Like, you know, nothing happens because of the drugs. Just be fine. Just keep your mouth closed. No one will know. And that's it. And I talk myself down.
Nice.
Yeah. Keep my mouth closed. That's always the key. Because people can find out if you start going, what's that? If I'm at a UFC and I take an edible, and like 3 hours in it gets like too much, so I'm talking to somebody next to me, and at some point they go, wait, what? I'll just go, And then in my head I'm like, that's it. We're not talking the rest of this fight. Just, I'm not making any sense. Just keep it quiet.
Get ultra pasties.
Yeah.
You started smoking weed like well into your adulthood, right? You didn't start when you were a teenager.
Yeah, no, I didn't smoke at all when I was a teenager. In college, a little bit, like every 5-6 months, you know, I'd be at a party. But it would just be pot. It wouldn't be the type of pot at all. And I'd smoke it. I remember like passing out for like 2 hours and joining the party.
Yeah.
Or like my friend giving me some, Aaron, who's a lawyer now, and still being high the next day.
Really?
Yeah, so high.
I did.
Like he'd smoke out of a bong, and I was like, one hit would be fine. He'd smoke. What did he call it? Kind bud instead of chronic, or whatever else they call it. Just the better weed instead of shitty weed. Kind bud. Yeah, and so I'd smoke that out of a bong, and I'd just be ripped. And I'd play golf with my aunt the next day. I remember that. Going like, why am I so groggy? And then like, oh fuck, I'm high, and just not let her find out until like hole 3 or 4. Then I was like, okay. Yeah.
I did
those breath strips, when I started taking them, the dosage was like half a strip. That was like, they were like half a strip. My friend Carboni was like, I'm like a third of a strip. It's like half a strip is too much. People think it's just a little breath strip, so you think there's no way. Let's see if I have it. Yeah, I did. It's like there's no way you could that could do anything to you, you know? But it can. They fucking kill you. It's
Those
like,
are them?
Yeah, it's just like one little breath strip. Well, there's 2 in a pack. Can you zoom in on that? Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's just a breast strip. It's just like a Listerine breast strip. It's so powerful. So they come 2 in a pack, and it's like, that's 4 doses.
Really?
That's plenty. But nobody believes. Anyway, so one time with Diaz, it was me and like me, Red Band, my friend Brian, Diaz, and this other guy. Fuck, I forget his name. Some jiu-jitsu guy. And so we were passing out. We were gonna all take one. Say, fuck it, let's go super deep, because our tolerance had gone up a little bit. But that was gonna be the most. I've never taken a full one before. And then, so I handed one to everybody, and then that last guy was like, oh no, I just do booze. I don't do it. And he brought it like a Jack Daniels thing and snuck it in. So like, okay. And so I put the other one away. And Dia's like, what are you doing? And I was like, what? He goes, you don't put anything away. So I was like, oh, okay. So I split up. So we each took 1 1/3.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was high for, I'm trying to remember this exact number because I realized it. I think I was high for 23 hours.
Holy shit.
I think just before that time I took him the next day, like 4 o'clock. It was like, okay, I think I'm coming down now. But you wake up, first you just feel groggy, and then for like an hour, you're like, oh, okay, I'm not just groggy.
Right.
I'm stoned. Then it hits you. And then it just lasted. It's amazing when you're still high the next day. It's not fun.
No.
You're like, I didn't sign on for this now. Like I wasn't prepared
Yeah.
for this at all. You don't, even if you wake up and smoke, it's like you're like, all right, I'm about to smoke. You get high.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Like I had to go to work the next day, and I
Yeah.
was still baked.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
Joey Diaz banana bread.
The banana bread. He gave me that shit and that's the first time I had to talk myself down. I didn't know that's what he had. It was in Newark, New Jersey. I just thought he got from one of his friends. He was out there like doing a show in Rochester, and that banana bread lady is gone now. She got fired. She left that job, so we can't
Really?
find it. He tracked her down, the actual lady, and was like, "Make a loaf for me. I'll buy a loaf for you for $100, and just sell it or just like give it out or whatever."
Yeah.
But they're too good. They started selling like other banana bread that wasn't hers, which I hate when dispensaries do that. Whoever makes it, like the deal goes away. They just keep passing off whatever they have now as the original stuff. And we're like, this isn't hitting me as strong. We're like, I don't know, but they do know. You couldn't taste the weed in it. If I took maybe it was like this thin banana bread and like this long. It was like that.
It was just a piece.
Yeah, just a thin piece of banana bread. So he had that in Newark. I had these breast strips that the place I went to, they had gone down. They had started using different kind of extracts. They weren't as good. So I had like one of those, wasn't doing anything for me. I gave it back. He was like, no, the whole thing. I just thought it was some shitty bread he got there.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I could hear conversations across the
Really?
UFC. Like I could see what they were saying to each other and hear them.
That's crazy.
I was having like acid flashbacks. It was crazy. And that's when I had to be like, you won't overdose. Nothing bad will happen to you. Just keep your mouth shut and you'll be fine.
I've heard people having horrible acid flashbacks where like they'll see like a lizard like that they saw in an acid flashback or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. Has that ever happened to you?
No, I haven't taken acid that many times.
That's lucky.
Yeah.
Speaking about jiu-jitsu, you mentioned a little while ago, you started doing jiu-jitsu for about a year with the encouragement of Joe Rogan.
Yeah. He signed me up. He was like, I'll pay for it. I think it'll be good for you. And then Eddie Bravo, the teacher, he eventually just started letting me go for free.
Excellent.
Yeah. He's really cool about it. Eddie's a good friend. But yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm not an athlete really anymore, but it's a cool thing to do. Do you do it at all?
No, I've never tried it.
It's easy, do you?
No, I want to get into it though.
It's like people are like, I don't want to get hurt. Like you don't get hurt. When you pull
Really?
something here or there, but it's not like a break or a black eye. There's no striking really. You get bruises all over your arms and people holding you down, but it looks a little like AIDS, but it's not. So it's not really a big deal. And then that goes away. It's just fun, and you get completely worn out because you use your legs and your stomach and you use all those muscles. When you're out of class, you're just like, oh, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
And it feels really good. It's a really good workout. You get
Excellent.
stronger and you get a little more confident too. Like at a bar, you sort of know, like if anything did happen, if they weren't expecting
Start
it,
grappling.
I could run around them and take their back and just choke them out.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just nice to have a little confidence. But then I had knee surgery, and I started fearing limping when I'm 60 forever. So I sort of stopped. How old are you?
22.
Perfect. Yeah, you can do it for 10 years before you start feeling any long-term effects.
Nice.
Yeah, you should do it. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Yeah, why not? It's fun. Within like 2 years, you'll be like pretty good at it.
Really?
Yeah, you'll like sort of, at first you'll just get choked out left and right. And you have to tell yourself, doesn't matter, it's just not something I'm good at. There was this guy, Shigeki, who was maybe 140 pounds, this little Asian guy, 5'1" maybe, and he would choke me out maybe 15 times in 5 minutes.
Really?
You would just see how many times and how fast they could do it. And eventually you don't take any sort of pride to it because you're like, this guy's been training for 10 years, I haven't, it's not a big deal. Some people get upset about it, but it's like, who cares? It's not something you're good at yet. I remember every time he came in trying to get around his head this way, he would just catch me in an arm triangle, just choke me out for like 15 times, and then I'd be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like eventually your body learns, like don't do that because you